Astrology time, Shane here, daily-astrocat.com. And today is Tuesday, the 17th of February. Okay, so we've got a really big day here for you, and this is going to be really huge, okay? So I've got your astrology for Tuesday. The moon is going to be new today at 7:01 in the morning. Today is Mardi Gras. It's also Ramadan. Ramadan begins at sundown. And welcome to the Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year. This is the year of the fire horse. Now, freedom is important. Freedom to act, freedom to move, freedom to break away, and freedom to start new ventures. Okay, so impulsive and fiery, think of like Aries traits, kind of, for this fire horse feeling. All right, but think about this too. The energy can be frivolous, frittered away, and lacking in staying power. Now, this isn't about Chinese astrology, though, but those little things, they tend to inform some of our larger cycles, our larger astrology. Back in the day, I would have a small companion animal that would accompany the planets throughout their journey through the cycles, right? And what would happen is that they would impart a little bit of that flavor into the astrology from time to time. So we want that freedom, right? That falls nicely into line with our sun in Aquarius and our moon in Aquarius and this new moon. So let's talk about this. So look, our creative projects and some business prospects will be made to seem bigger than life. And this is going to be sometimes to our detriment. New moons, these are seed points. These are not like those, intention setting or anything like. There's nothing dramatic. The moon, you can't see it. It's conjunct with the sun. You'll see it in the form of a solar eclipse today because today is an eclipse. So that is something that's very interesting. It's a partial eclipse. I don't believe it's not visible in the United States. So let's think about this. Look, our creative projects, we already talked about that. Look, intentions that we have during the lunations, we start to put them into action with the new moon, right? That's that seed point. But there's also a point where we have to give up what it was that we were, what's no longer serving us, what's no longer doing us a solid, as they say, right? So we need to really think about where we're at with this in respect to this new moon. I've got some thoughts on that, and hopefully I'm not going to forget them. So, but let's do this. The eclipse in Aquarius is a harbinger of change, and it amplifies the power of the intentions and actions that we have during this full moon, and it gives them legs. So by giving it legs, it means that it's just going to carry over into the next eclipse, which will most likely happen in Virgo, right? So we need to make sure that and we're going to have a lunar eclipse as well in March, so because they always come in twos, right? That's right. So think about this. We will learn how to stand on our own as we establish our carefully crafted reputation throughout this cycle. Careful. Why is it careful? Well, we have Saturn sitting right in that 0-degree point of Aries with Neptune. So whatever it is we're creating with a little bit of caution. And that's good because that fiery horse is going to want to take off, but we're going to have to hold it back. We're going to have to rein it in. So that's where this kind of energy is going. So it's tricky. So we have to make sure that we are wearing some of our colors, the colors that are going to help us here. I've got another blue shirt on only because I read somewhere where that's something good for my Chinese zodiac sign to be doing on this first day. So it should be navy blue, but hey. All right. And so the moon is void of course at 7:01 a.m., right at the time of the eclipse, right? And it will enter Pisces at 9:09 in the morning. After it enters Pisces, there's no aspect. So now we have a focused moon in Pisces. This is very, very much what you are feeling right now. So let's talk about this. A powerful reminder that there are some things that you need to be done with. Why are we done with it? Well, we're done with an emotional approach to things because Aquarius actually favors that detached, aloof kind of thing. So if we're too wrapped up into something and too emotional, that's not going to serve us very well. And that's something that's going to be hard to decouple ourselves from. So that's why that keyword is severance. We need to put an end to some of this stuff that's causing us to overthink, to do the things that we, to do things that are to our detriment, to act too hastily, to act from a selfish point of view rather than our emotional needs, right? What we need, what I want, what I desire at this moment, that instant gratification. No, we have to be done with that because this is a larger scope of operations that we're talking about here. And really, it's going to start with that Aquarius moon and Aquarius sun. We're going to very quickly shift to the Pisces season, but we're going to do that from an intuitive standpoint as far as creating and not as far as emoting or feeling emotions or feeling that empathy. We're going to have to tune that down a little bit because I know it's hard because you're going to feel for other people. It's going to tug at your heartstrings. It gets nostalgic, right? But we're not talking about it. We're talking about improving and modifying and innovating as we're moving forward. And we're going to really look at this over the next 6 months till the next eclipse cycle because we're going to constantly be improving on this theme right here. But we have to do it by being a little bit more detached. Okay, so we're going to sever off that stuff that's no longer serving us. And our color is blue-green. Now, today's going to feel overwhelming in a way that makes you take notice. Have you ever driven over a temporary bridge? Okay, you focus on getting over it. And, looking in any other direction is a distraction. And the one that I went across just had so many cross members in it along the sides. You couldn't really see off of it anyway, so you couldn't really see what they were doing in the river below it, right? So anyway, it's all frozen anyway, so it doesn't matter. But there is another bridge that's going up a little bit further down the road, a more temporary bridge, more permanent bridge. Now, think about this. If you don't do that, it's an accident waiting to happen. Now, of course, the prevailing Aquarius winds are going to make us try to put, these things into plan, these plans into action. We have a Mercury retrograde coming up. We've got till the end of the week to think about, how we want to do this, innovate technologically and stuff like that. But don't be too hasty. Look, normally it's a good thing to want to implement plans, but we got to take a break here because we're in that Pisces right away, right after this eclipse, right after the eclipse, right after the beginning of the lunar new year. We go right into Pisces, and we don't want to get overwhelmed by the emotion of the moment or, just carried away with the, empathy and or maybe just fantasizing it all away. We don't want to do that. What we really want to do is we want to just be circumspect about it. There's a lot going on. This is the lunar new year. That's one cycle. It's also presages the nodes that are going to be moving from out of the sign of Pisces and Virgo and in to the next signs, right? Which would be Aquarius and Leo. We're starting to head in that direction. Okay, so that's coming up today too. That's coming up later on this year too. So I think we're best served by not really acting, because we act from an emotional standpoint. We're really going to mess things up. Now, the Chinese astrology, basically all those memes that I've been seeing about it, and, let's face it, we're in modern times now, so we learn by memes, right? Talking about not throwing anything out, not cutting your hair, not washing anything on the first day of a lunar new year, because you don't know if you will throw out something that's going to bring you good fortune. So I'm wishing good fortune to everybody there. But I'm also saying that, in that same vein, that acting too hastily has the potential to upset the delicate balance that we have between the new year and the eclipse and what we're trying to give up, right? And we don't want to do that. We want to just look at what we need to stop first, and then we set a new baseline, right? A new base level than where we're going to advance from. Now, make the most of this cycle by changing up your bad habits for newer and healthier ones. Okay. So the eclipse will be intensely felt as it pushes us towards innovation, social justice, and standing out from the crowd, that uniqueness that we've been working on, right? Now, think before you speak and avoid contradicting yourself. That's why we're best off to just take this and be, okay, we're focused in Pisces. Do it intuitively, right? This is what we're feeling. Brevity is your friend later on today. Sit quietly and meditate and reflect on where you're headed in the next 6 months. Cut off the things that no longer serve you. Ask for guidance to come and help you sort out everything. Intuition plays a bigger role in this than you could possibly imagine. Okay. So, Reader's Digest version, kind of, right? Just that condensed. We just took the most important points and we put it out there. In 1904, Giacomo Puccini's opera, Madama Butterfly, premieres at La Scala in Milan, Italy. And Our Birth is another musical one. In 1979, a gentleman by the name of Ben McCreary is an American composer for film, television. He did Outlander, The Walking Dead, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and video games. He's born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and that is all I have for you. Happy birthday, Bear. And let's do this, okay? Appreciate and love every single one of you. I hope that you got a little bit of insight from this and you see where we're going with this, right? We need to stop with the... try to stop feeling things so emotionally and start to detach just a little bit, like our Aquarian friends that just kind of tend to just ignore stuff, right? Or better yet, like a Mercury and Pisces person, right? That just is oblivious to some of this stuff, okay? That's talking from experience. Appreciate and love every single one of you. Leave me some notes below. Tell me what it is that you're giving up, what it is that you think is right, what it is you think is wrong. We will be going through this and revisiting it every time we have a lunation, right? We're going to be talking about this from the point of view of this eclipse in Aquarius. And that's all I have for you. So let's recap, shall we? Today's keyword is severance, and the color is blue-green. Today is a 6, because eclipses, they're never easy. Happy astrocatting.